What will happen to Donbas in 2026? Will Ukraine and Russia sign a peace agreement? Is Donald Trump ready to declare a real war on Vladimir Putin? And will China get involved? Most importantly, what will happen to Russia's economy this year? The authors of the Financial Times made a forecast for the new year 2026, touching on a wide variety of topics. They believe President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine will not be forced to give Donbas to the Russians. There will be no snap parliamentary elections in France, and Trump will not back down from the tariff war. And the artificial intelligence bubble will eventually burst, which will lead to turmoil in the markets. Let's figure out together what we should expect from this new year, 2026, and what forecasts the experts are giving. My name is Alexei Pecci. Let's discuss this topic together. But before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, give it a like, and don't forget to leave your comment. Also, subscribe to my Telegram channel, Pecci News. The link is in this video's description. Friends, you know that every day I analyze a lot of facts, but today I want to talk to you about feelings. On the channel of my favorite psychologist. Without false modesty, I'll say that a video came out that I myself watched with great interest. It's about January 1st as the day of collective digital hangover. We haven't even woken up yet, and we're already overwhelmed by the news. So, the video that I strongly recommend you watch is exactly about how to simply remain human when the world around you is slowly going crazy. It's the best thing you can do for your mind. Today, January 1st, the link to the video is in the description of this video and in the pinned comment, and it also appears on your screens. So go ahead, check it out, and send regards to the creator from our channel. The Financial Times is questioning if Donald Trump will raise tariffs and escalate the trade war in 2026. The answer is no. As the Financial Times writes, the United States president has found that tariffs are much more complicated. A significant drop in stocks after the introduction of large-scale tariffs in April, threats of retaliation from China, other countries offering him concessions, and rising consumer prices have reduced the momentum of his tariff campaign. Trump will largely abandon threats of new tariffs and reduce existing ones through agreements. And overall, Trump will try to rhetorically move away from this topic, as if nothing ever happened. Will Volodymyr Zelensky be forced to give up Donbas as part of a peace agreement? The answer from the Financial Times is no. American negotiators, like Moscow, believe that giving up Donbas is the price Ukraine must pay for peace. But according to the Financial Times, this would be too dangerous for Zelensky, for military, constitutional, and political reasons. The withdrawal of troops to create a demilitarized zone not controlled by either side would be an unworkable and unacceptable option for either Moscow or Kiev. Only the collapse of its defenses will force Ukraine to surrender. But according to the Financial Times, such a scenario is unlikely. Will the Republicans lose control of the United States Congress? According to the Financial Times forecasts, the Democrats will regain the House of Representatives in the midterm elections in November, but they will not regain the Senate. This will allow them to block Donald Trump's agenda and start investigations into abuses in his administration. The Financial Times also allows for the possibility of impeachment proceedings against Trump, which he will do everything possible to prevent. And here is a forecast that should interest investors. Will the artificial intelligence bubble burst? The Financial Times answer is yes, it will burst. The easy money in this field is already behind us, and investors are asking tough questions to the tech giants. According to the Financial Times, the hype has already peaked, and they expect that venture and private capital will suffer major losses, and small companies will be shutting down. Will France hold early parliamentary elections? The answer is no. Most political parties are waiting for the 2027 presidential elections and do not want to repeat the scenario of 2024, when early parliamentary elections led to the fragmentation of the legislative body and also made it difficult to pass the budget. Polls show that the division will remain, not giving any political force a majority. Will the Chinese yuan grow at all or only insignificantly? China's huge trade surplus indicates that the Chinese currency is undervalued, while the country's deflationary economy suggests that it will remain that way. The next question is, will the firewall fail against the German party Alternative for Germany? The Financial Times says no. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz's refusal to allow his conservative Christian Democratic Union to cooperate with Alternative for Germany will be seriously tested if the far-right party wins in the regional elections. Germany currently has a firewall policy against all far-right parties. Now it represents a strategic approach and a political demand from civil society and political circles against far-right policies in Germany. And it involves a complete refusal to cooperate with such political forces. And now comes a super important question for the Indo-Pacific region. Will Sanea Takaichi remain the Prime Minister of Japan? The answer is yes. The statistical chances of the Prime Minister of Japan remaining in office after a year are low. Takaichi is considered too tough even within her own faction, and China is trying to destabilize her. But she is straightforward and remains popular among the Japanese, even as inflation persists and interest rates rise. Takaichi is very fond of Donald Trump, and this is the woman who directly challenges China, stating that Japan is basically ready to consider nuclear status and increasing the number of long-range missiles. Will the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Keir Starmer, face a challenge to his leadership? The answer is yes. The Financial Times urges to watch out for May, when the Labour Party will have poor results in elections in Scotland, Wales and some English districts. Nigel Farage's Reform United Kingdom party will likely succeed. By the way, this party is supported by Donald Trump. This could be a catalyst for changes at the top of the United Kingdom government. Will Saudi Arabia normalize relations with Israel? The Financial Times answer is no. No matter how much Trump wants it, the chances of this happening are low. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman insists normalization will only happen after a clear path to a Palestinian state, but Israel fully rejects this. And finally, some rather strange questions like, will we have household robot butlers? The answer is yes. In October, the startup 1X began taking pre-orders for Neo, a soft-knitted humanoid robot for $20,000 with delivery scheduled for 2026. Tesla, Figueroa, and Unit V are competing to create self-driving models that will perform household chores, although it's still difficult for them to replicate human dexterity. Will Africa's growth exceed Asia's? Yes, but only slightly. According to the International Monetary Fund, China's growth rate is slowing down, and the average growth rate across Asia could drop to 4 in 2026. Africa has a lower base and will likely expect economic growth of 4 and above. Will the price of gold exceed $5,000 per ounce? The answer is yes. The rise in gold prices will continue at a measured pace due to uncertainty and the declining role of the dollar as a reserve currency. The increase in the price of gold bars will continue. Will Tesla, Elon Musk's company, regain its position after losing market share in the United States, European Union, and China? No, it won't regain its position. Tesla remains under pressure in the United States due to the expiration of tax incentives for electric vehicles, while Trump is rolling back regulations aimed at reducing car emissions in Europe and China. The prospects for Elon Musk's company are even more unpredictable, especially since Chinese competitors will release even more new models with more attractive prices. If you've watched up to this point, I once again recommend you check out the New Year's episode from my favorite psychologist. I've left the link to that video in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. So go ahead, watch it, subscribe, and send greetings from our channel. I'll leave it at that. Subscribe to this channel as well, and make sure to hit the bell so you get notifications when new episodes come out. Happy New Year to all! That's it for now. Take care. Goodbye.